Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Couch today, I'm going to be reviewing this Catalyst by James Luceno, a Rogue One novel tie into the upcoming movie. On the back it says, "The end of the Clone Wars is in sight, but beyond hope's horizon, the darkest of stars is rising." So basically it opens with Jin's father on an icy planet with his wife Lyra, and they're doing a research into energy crystals, kybers, all that sort of thing, when they're essentially taken captive by the separatists and held hostage. His old friend Orson Krennick busts him out basically, and from that point in, he's in his debt, and over many years, several years anyway, he gets deeper and deeper into the web that Krennic has spun around him, luring him in with the promise of funding his research and being able to provide power to the galaxy for almost no cost at all. Obviously, that's not what the Empire is really all about, and they want his knowledge on kyber crystals to weaponize them to power the Death Star. Now, there's loads in here about kyber crystals. It's really fascinating. Smaller ones, larger ones are referenced, where you'll find them, like say for instance if you find one mineral you're not going to find kybers, or they can only be discovered where there's been certain kinds of tectonic activity, that sort of thing. Or the old Jedi temples used to have kyber crystals studded on the buildings. I expect we're going to see of the old temples, that is. I expect we'll probably see something like that in Rogue One, either the temple with the jewels or the crystals missing are already being taken, or we'll see them being removed, that sort of thing. There's a really good scene in there where Krennic presents him with a box. When they open up, it's full of kyber crystals. Imagine like a pirate treasure box when it's full of jewels. That was the kind of imagery I got. And Lyra's looking at it, and it comes to all of a sudden. She says, "Do you know what we're looking at here?" I said, "These crystals, they're all finger-sized. All of these crystals came from lightsabers. We're looking at dead Jedi." I don't think she says that line, but that's very much what they are looking at. A box of kyber crystals taken from lightsabers. So anyway, the plans develop, the research goes on, there's side projects that are mirroring his research and Galen's research and trying to weaponize it. There are disasters, power plant meltdowns, cities destroyed, all that sort of thing. The Empire's trying to take over what's known as legacy worlds, which are essentially pristine wildernesses, preserved for their ecology and the natural beauty. No people really live there. It's like scientific sort of research stations there. They seize them, start strip mining them, of course, looking for all these kyber crystals, completely despoiling those worlds. A few other interesting facts in there. Coruscant, we always believed, and certainly in the old canon it was the case, the entire surface is completely covered by a city. I think in the old Thrawn novels, Timothy Zahn's, there's an area where the very top of the highest mountain on Coruscant is just above the city street or something like that. But anyway, there is an area on Coruscant, on one of the continents, where the planet's surface is still exposed. It's a refuge for a group of aliens whose planet was destroyed, and they live there. They get kicked out, of course, and the Empire decides to turn that into a research station. Yes, indeed. Also, human females on Coruscant don't tend to give birth to their own children. They hand that over to a surrogate. So they were very surprised, people that Lyra's working with, because she's pregnant about 2 months from giving birth to Jin at the start of the novel. They're surprised that she's carrying her own child. Jin's mother, Lyra, she's awesome. She's like a crystallographer, explorer, all that sort of thing. And she does have some force sensitivity, but very, very think Ivanova and B5. She wasn't even a P1. That sort of thing. She can feel the force, but she can't use it. So anyway, obviously the story is about Galen's research and powering up the Death Star, and that does continue. And he slowly comes to realise he's been played, and he has to get out. The person who helps him and his wife and Jin get out, because by the time they're ready for that, she's several years old, is Guererra. So her and him Saw and Jin go back a very long way when we come to see Rogue One. He even gives them like a data card saying, contact me on this number if you ever need it. That sort of thing. It's really, really good. Someone else who makes an interesting cameo. I mean, Darth Vader is referenced, the Emperor was referenced many, many times, but Mas Amedda. Now, that's the former Vice-Chancellor, the blue guy with the long horns, and then the Grand Vizier, who we do see briefly in the Lando comic, you know, saying to the Emperor, my lord, I have some truly unfortunate news, when Lando had stole the spaceship, the Imperialis. Yeah. So he's in there. He's kind of like the contact man for Orson Krennick, who is trying to worm his way up the levers of power. It's interesting. It starts off at the beginning of the book. He sat basically at the back of the auditorium in the special weapons group. He slowly moves forward and forward as further meetings take place over time. And then once he's able to present Galen and Erso's research as the answer to the problem of powering the super laser, you know, he's now able to meet directly with Mas Amedda. Yes. Someone who's not really happy about that, of course, is Governor Tarkin. You know, old school imperial type, you know, it's like, doesn't like these up and comers, you know, they have no class. Interesting thing, you remember there's all that confusion over, he's a Grand Moff, but Leia calls him Governor. That's addressed in this book. Someone says to him, Grand Moff, Rear Admiral, Governor, what do we call you? He says, Governor would be my preference. So that's that explained, yes. And he's just as calculating as you'd expect. He's quite happy to let Orson Krennick take all the blame for everything that goes wrong in that very long construction period of the Death Star, which continues obviously past the end of this book, because Jin is just a small child when they escape from the clutches of the Imperials. But no, it's a really, really good book. I mean, James Luceno is a fantastic author for Star Wars. I'm sure I have got some of his others, although I can't remember. I know he wrote Darth Plagueis, which I haven't got, and several others, but this, I really enjoyed it. It was absolutely fantastic. It's certainly going to add a lot to my enjoyment of Rogue One when that comes out in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure there's going to be further tie-in novels in due course once the film is out. So, like I said, guys, I would thoroughly recommend it to you. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content, leave me a comment suggestion for upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.